All right, today, you guys, we're going to be playing American Truck Simulator, originally developed by SCS Software. It initially launched in 2016, and it is the successor to 18 Wheels of Steel. Now, 18 Wheels of Steel came out way back in 2007, 2008. That's the first one I played. That's when I really, well, actually, it was Hard Truck. That's when I really got into these kind of trucking games. But however, Hard Truck was a lot less of a hardcore simulator and more fun, where you could run away from cops and all that kind of fun stuff. Also, a very old game, something I played way back in probably 2002, 2003. But nonetheless, I digress. This game, this game has a lot of features and a lot of management. This game is a full-on simulator. It's not as hardcore as the original 18 Wheels of Steel, the successor or predecessor, because this game has things like GPS and easy parking, and the trailers are automatically hooked onto the truck when you start and things like that. So it makes it a lot easier to play the game, and it makes it a lot easier for people to get into it who haven't necessarily ever played a trucking simulator before, or a simulator of any kind. Now, I initially started this game, and I probably played it for about, shoot, maybe I got maybe an hour and a half into it or something like that. About a level 3. I've done maybe about 4 deliveries. It'll tell you all that in your avatar, in your settings here. And I did have well over 18,000, but I had to abandon a load. And when you abandon a load, it costs you a ton of money. I get really hurt. It's because I totaled my truck out. In this game, you can total out your truck, and you will have to call someone to tow it or repair it. And that, again, costs money, just like getting speeding tickets or anything like that, whether it's from a speed camera or it's from the police. Those things are both in this game. Or simply not using your headlights or blinkers or things like that. I don't think they really get you for blinkers. They haven't gotten me for blinkers yet, but definitely for headlights. Or you're traveling through certain zones that are permitted, which I did. That cost me over $500, but I had a load that was super huge and I wasn't going to turn all the way around, so I just bit the bullet on that one. You have things like truck upgrades, you know, rims, tires, different chassis setups, different engine setups, see right here, different chassis, maybe can carry more weight, cool stuff like that, different mirrors, it's just like any other simulator like Gran Turismo or anything else. You got trailer upgrades, which for me aren't available right now because I'm pretty new to the game. But yeah, up here's your little avatar. You get to choose your own little picture and everything, and your own, it links up with your little Steam deal there, and you get to make your own company name and all that. Mine's International Hall, and all that good stuff. You get to pick your own little logo for your company, and time travels. I mean, time moves forward. Obviously not in real time, but it moves forward. Days and nights. There's a full day-night cycle. Stuff like that. The graphics are pretty decent. It's not a hard game to run. You can pretty much run it on anything. I'm currently running it on an RX 580 with 8 gigs of RAM, or 8 gigs of DDR. What is it? DDR5. Yeah, DDR5. 4690K overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz in i5. 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, clocked at 1600 megahertz, and a Barracuda 2 terabyte hard drive. But you don't need all that. And it's just, this game's not that hard to run. I mean, even at ultra settings right now, I'm easily hitting 60 FPS at 1080p. And you do have some pretty robust graphical settings here as well. I mean, you have things like, field of view and, scaling and anti-aliasing and all that good stuff. And if you really want to get in there and get into nitty gritty, and you want to run it at say 4K, and you got, hardware that's spec'd about like mine, you can turn some of these graphical settings down and tweak it in such a way to where it will run 4K. Maybe not 60 FPS, but it will do 4K. And you can definitely get 1440p. Now again, let's go ahead and check out these controls here. Some of the control settings. Now this does support steering wheel and pedals. Has full support for steering wheel and pedals. It also has full support for most third-party controllers, of course, including Xbox 360, PS4. I don't know about that one. You're probably gonna have to get like some kind of little like weird adapter app or something. I don't know. It's sketchy with PS4. PS3, there's a good app that will work with the PS3 controller. If I can remember what it is, I'll link it in the description below or something like that for you guys. You have some pretty good audio options and things like that. Oh, and again, I'm using half keyboard, mouse, and half controller. So it only has partial controller support as well. That's something that I probably should have mentioned. But yeah, it's partial. But you can use your controller to control the mouse and a lot of different things. And you could assign any, assign different functions to the buttons on your controller, and then the rest on your keyboard, or however you want to do that. You have different things in your volume. I mean, you have lots of options in your volume. Your engine volume, all that stuff. I turned it down quite a bit so it doesn't, you know, so you can actually hear what I'm saying in the recording here. But yeah, it's not a bad game. It's got decent physics. It's got what's really amazing about it. I'm going to show you something that I really like about this game. One of the biggest features that I like about it is this radio. This radio allows for you to sync up and stream all these different stations in your truck as you drive. It is freaking phenomenal. I mean, I've heard everything from 50 Cent to Jay-Z's to Elvis, just all these great stations. Obviously I can't play them for copyright reasons. You guys know that. So I had to mute it. But you just go ahead and pick a station and then hit play and you're off, man. And there's probably a way to do it in the truck during gameplay. I just don't know how because I'm a little new to this particular game. Like I said, I am pretty familiar with the predecessor, but this one's got a lot more going on here. So the main goal of this game is to start your own company, build your company up, upgrade your trucks, make your trucks better, faster, cooler looking. There's, as I've showed you, tons of accessories and things like that. You can hire other workers to work for you so you can make even more money. And if you really want to take the, just chop down on something, cut down on some of the time it's going to take you to get trucks and drivers, you can just go ahead and take out a bank loan. But that's just not something I do. Like, I just don't do bank loans. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way up. I mean, that last mistake cost me because I had over $18,000. So that hurt. That was about at least a good hour and a half or so of playing. But that's all right. I can easily make it up. But when you start out, you need to drive for other companies. So that's what I'm doing. You go to job market. You have quick job, freight market, cargo market, external contracts, all this good stuff. And it tells you right here, it describes what all this is and what it does. And all of it becomes available, I'm pretty sure, when you get your own truck. Don't quote me on that, because like I said, I'm still kind of digging into the game myself here. But I wanted to make a quick review on it and kind of get the word out there that this is a great game. It's a lot like Euro Truck Simulator. I mean, they're both currently only $5 on Steam. I mean, you can get them for next to nothing. I paid, obviously, $10 for both of them because they're 75% off, I believe it is. You have your email, photo studio. You can take photos of your truck and stuff like that. This is your vehicle browser. You can browse different vehicles and tanker trucks and things like that. But I can't afford anything, so, Yeah, just go ahead and jump into the job market. Go ahead and do a quick job here. You have not a lot of area compared to the predecessor. The predecessor, you had like the whole United States. It was huge. And another thing that comes with that, another caveat, is compared to the original, this one, 20 minutes, you travel like 1,000,000 miles. Travel like maybe 120 miles or whatever. It's crazy. Whereas in the original, it was like almost actually in real time. It took forever. It was really, 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 you had to be patient with the original. That's just one caveat. It just doesn't feel as grandiose as the original game felt. But you have a couple of different states, and there are DLCs coming with more, and they're always updating and things like that, adding new trucks and things like that. And you have different loads here. Some pay more based on weight and distance and things of that nature. Like, I'm currently already on a load, so I'm currently already delivering a load, so I can't exactly just jump in and jump into another load, or it's going to cost me. You get a fine if you cancel a load and you don't deliver it. I found that out the hard way. That's why I'm down to like $6,000. All right, we're going to play the game. I'm going to show you some of the basics of the graphics and the textures and things like that. Graphics and textures are pretty okay. I mean, the game is pretty old already, so it's nothing to really write home about. But it feels good. It feels smooth. It feels fluid. The gameplay feels like you would expect from a simulator. You turn the wheel stays turned. Just like in a real vehicle. You have your Jake brake, and and things like that. You have your lights, which is controlled with L on the keyboard for me. You know, low beams, high beams, all that good stuff. You know, you can't drive around with your high beams on either. I think that's a ticket as well. So just make sure you obey the rules of the road, and you won't get any tickets. Just don't speed or anything. Don't hit anything either. For the love of hell, do not hit anything. It will total your truck out. I'm telling you, and it happens fast. And be super careful with your cargo too, especially that expensive cargo. You bang into something, you got a problem. Remember, this is a full-on simulator, so you do need to do things like, you know, rest up and fuel the truck up, make sure it doesn't run out of gas, stuff like that. When you're backing those trailers in, you can do it manually. If you do it manually, you do get a point bonus towards your your progress as a character in the game. So, or avatar, or whatever you want to call it. So that's good. Texture quality is decent enough. Draw distances are decent enough. It's nothing to really write home about, like I said before. Pretty sure I mentioned that before, but yeah, it's decent though. It's a really good game. It has a good feel to it and all that good stuff. One thing I wish they would have added to it was full damage models and stuff like in Beam Drive. Like that would have been really cool, but I don't think that's what they were really going for. I think they were just going for more of a serene experience and just kick back and listen to some music and drive your truck and, you know, get things done, make things happen. So lighting quality is pretty decent too as well. I think that's something I should probably mention. As you can see, it's not a terrible looking game. Honestly, if you're running at probably 4K, you're probably gonna get a lot more out of it. But you know, for now, we're gonna go ahead and sum this video up and say this is definitely something worth picking up. If I had to throw a rating on it, I would go ahead and say it's a solid, you know, 8 out of 10 for a simulator. It's pretty up there. I mean, I wouldn't put it up against any other game because it's in its own category, and for this category, it's a solid 8 out of 10. You know, braking feels realistic and everything like that. You know, it takes a while to stop. You can feel the weight of the vehicles. It's definitely something especially for $5 on Steam right now. I would go ahead and pick it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up and say like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.